Hello.
Hello.
Are you tired from DJing?
I'm okay.
Is it something upturning when you are there, or is it tiring when you are there in front of people?
I mean, I'm having a good time. You know, I have fun. So, you know, I don't know if anyone gets too tired of having fun. So.
And I just wanted to thank you that I could be here and make this interview with you, because you are like a myth, you are a pioneer of something very, very important, which is techno music that we are living this evening. And you know what you did that time when you opened this new great genre in that years. You know what would have happened afterwards, after all your ideas? No.
Yeah, well, I had no idea that it would. I mean, you know, it was. You know, it was sort of. It's like an experiment, but the experiment turned out a lot bigger and better than I thought it was going to turn out.
Of course, because the history and the story of techno is very, very large, and we cannot speak of the whole evolution. So, could you speak just to me of the beginnings of techno?
Well, I mean, what do you want to know?
The difference, for example, with house music, the difference with Detroit music and Chicago music, the very classical things that you might have said already many, many times, but we are everyone curious to know it again.
I mean, Chicago is like only a 4-hour drive from Detroit, so we have a lot of friends there. There's like a friendly rivalry between Detroit and Chicago, you know. But it made for some great music on both cities. Competition, you know.
So competition is always something good.
Yeah, it was healthy competition.
And is techno something like a mélange, like a mix of many, many things? Like you say, perhaps funk, blues, rock. Tell me, what is the mix of what?
Well, I mean, you know, I can speak for me. I mean, I've been influenced by all of those styles when I was coming up, listening to, you know, a lot of funk, jazz records, everything. And so I would imagine that when I created this sound, all of those influences were a part of the creation, for sure.
And how did you manage to hear the music of Kraftwerk?
I heard the first record I heard from them was We Are the Robots, played by a DJ in Detroit called Electrifying Mojo. He was an FM radio DJ that was like late 70s or something. And he was on radio and he didn't have a format. He could play whatever he wanted to play. It was when FM first started, it was like only 3 stations on FM. It was brand new, and he happened to be on one of these stations. And
I heard of him that he was something like a madman.
Yeah. I mean, he played everything across the board. It was like he came down from a spaceship, and he would land the mothership every night at 10 o'clock. You know, and it sounded like a news flash, or like a news break or something, that he was coming and landing this spaceship. He had all the sound effects and stuff on the radio. It was great.
So you were somehow impressed, but you began like a musician. I think you were a bass player. Is that right at the beginning? Yes. I know some little bit of things of you, yes. But I want the confirmation of you if it's right or not.
Yeah, I did start actually playing. My father bought me an electric guitar for my 10th birthday. And then I started playing bass shortly after that. So, yeah.
Have you continued to play afterwards?
I haven't played bass in a long time. As a matter of fact, I traded it in for a keyboard or something. So, but I imagine I can still hit some licks on it.
You have children. I read about a daughter that you have. Is that right? Do they play music? Which genre of music?
She's actually she's following in my footsteps in a way. She's making her own tracks, and she's in college right now for studying music business. And she's gonna be good. You know.
Proud father.
Yes. She's in the choir and everything. She's great. Yeah.
Are you traveling a lot with your music?
I do. I do travel. I mean, I'm here in Luxembourg, beautiful Luxembourg. So.
First time you're in Luxembourg?
No, this is my second time here. So.
And you travel all around Europe?
Yes.
Do you think that music has changed in the last years? And what is the position of techno music in nowadays?
You know, I think this music is always changing. As far as techno music, you know, I mean, there's a lot more people making music now, and through the internet and this digital age. I think this is like the digital age that we're in right now. So it's creating for some different things, some new things that probably weren't around 10, 15 years ago.
So are you curious to know how music will be in 10, 15, 20 years? How do you imagine it?
Well, I think that the way we, you know, I mean, when it comes down to the art of making music, you know, I mean, it's always, I think, some musician qualities that should be there. I mean, the scale and notes and pitches and things like that, I think, will remain the same, but the way we receive it will look a lot different. I think we'll be able to see and hear in 3D and 4D maybe.
Yes.
So
the visuals are very important in electronic music.
Yes. I think it's all the same, you know, now.
They accompany each other. So.
Yes.
This evening, when you were playing the last song you were playing, I found it sounded like a firework. Was that on purpose? It was like finishing something, and the music was like a firework, and even the visuals were like a firework. Is that only my imagination?
Well, I don't know. It just came that way. That was actually a Derek May record, Strings of Life. So that could be it, because he's kind of fireworky.
When you are listening to music, for example, in your car, when you are driving, what are you listening to? Not techno, I'm sure. You are not listening techno.
I listen to a little bit of everything. I like jazz, actually, sometimes when I'm driving. So that's
it's relaxing.
Jazz, in a way. You know, it depends on what tracks. But it's just something different, and you know, change the pace sometimes. Just fits the scenery sometimes. What I see when I'm driving. Yeah.
If we look to the history of techno, we see, for example, when it came to Europe, to Great Britain, it was was overwhelming when it came to Europe. There were afterwards the rave parties and the problems with the police. And then it came to France, Luxembourg, Belgium, etc. And the clubs were created. So it was an evolution. And now the DJs are perhaps more important than the music itself. Do you think that young people who are, for example, dancing outside now, they should know the history of techno, or just only having the pleasure of music dancing without having the questions of knowing what has happened before?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if a person loves a certain style of music or like, and you know, maybe they should know, you know, about it, but only if they want to know. You know, they shouldn't be forced to know, but you know, it would be nice to know.
So therefore, internet is good. Just only Wikipedia is okay. So to have some informations and the websites of people.
It's nice, yeah, to know something about what.
Do you have an important website? What do you post on it?
Right now, I'm built up. Well, Metroplex, my record label, is probably more responsible for my media stuff like that. So MetroplexRecords.net probably would be the next jump off point for whatever I'm doing.
Have you ever thought to stop with techno music? Once perhaps you were playing and you said, oh no, this evening I don't want to, I will stop it. Did you ever have that moment?
Well, I like all kind of music. No, I don't think I would ever stop. I don't really so much understand the question, but you mean stop? I don't understand what you're saying. Stop.
After many years that you're doing techno music, with the evolution, of course, that you say, oh no, I want to change something. No, we hope you won't change, so therefore...
No, I mean, I love making music, so I'll do that probably as long as I live. Yeah.
And by the way, a very personal thing, I thought that if I would see the pioneer, the most important, or one of the most important person of techno music, it would seem older, but you are so young, you seem a young boy, so I was very, very amazed. So it was just a personal compliment, finishing my interview and thanking everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both of you were brilliant.